Mitoma, and a brilliant finish out of the top drawer.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, the Bournemouth match preview. No Jack once again. He's recreating Ben Spalding 2024-25 season, isn't he? At the moment? Shambolic record, poor performances, poor appearances. So it's me and Maz again, but you know, you got the OGs. Maz, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. It's been I say that actually. It has been a pretty wild week this week. Just in general, like, you know, what's sort of happening in America. It's all pretty wild. And of course, just personally as well, poor Rufio's been in hospital, so it's been a tough week, mate. But we move, you know, that's life, isn't it? You've got to keep going, keep trudging along. Obviously, want to try and remain positive. Don't want to bring the mood down. But life is life in right now. So it could be better, mate. But we move. How about you? How's things?
Yeah, good on my front. Well, I'm ill today, and also echo you, like the stuff that's happening in America. Even in Poland as well, there's a lot of scary stuff going on at the moment. Donald Trump doing a video in AI. The world is in a messy spot. And you mentioned Rufio is obviously a mascot for Seagulls Social after all these years. So I'm sure all of the Seagulls Social fans and myself are wishing him all the best and can't wait to hear him yapping in the background of an episode very, very soon.
Love.
My friend lost his dog recently, and it genuinely is like losing a family member, so no one wants that.
Yeah.
Pets are completely different to what normal people think. I'm going to close my Slack. Work's still at me. Pets mean a lot to people, so
100%.
The best, mate.
Fingers crossed.
Sorry to hear you've had a bad week personally as well, but hopefully Brighton can make that a bit better by beating the Cherries this weekend.
Fingers crossed.
Maz, it doesn't look as easy as it has maybe been on paper in terms of stats. I think we were talking off air. Brighton have won 5 of the last 6 top flight encounters against Bournemouth, which, looking back on Bournemouth, is an unbelievable record for us, really. It's hard to believe that, but when you do look at our performances away at, what's their stadium called?
Dean Court, innit?
Dean Court, Dean Court.
Vitality, innit? Yeah, Vitality.
Yeah. I think Dean Court's the FIFA stadium, isn't it? Or maybe it's what they were called before Vitality.
I think it was before.
We actually had some unbelievable performances there. I think both occasions that I do remember were like nighttime games, maybe midweek. I remember João Pedro's incredible pass into Mitoma, probably one of our best goals we've scored in recent seasons. Before that, I remember Julio and Ciso scoring a goal away there under De Zerbi. That was a great win as well. And this is against a Bournemouth team that have been really, really good and almost competing with us in terms of how good they are at recruitment. Their manager's incredible. The way they play football's amazing. So they've got some unbelievable talent like Semenyo. Despite losing players, Maz, they still look good. And that's very much the narrative that Brighton have had recently. And we've seen this season, game against Liverpool, we watched that together. The Sky Sports opening show. Shout out Sky Sports. That was a good night. They looked incredible. They still looked really, really good, despite playing against the champions. Obviously, Cherries, they scored a last-minute winner. What can you do when you play the champions? And then I can't remember what the next result was. Did they draw to Wolves, maybe? Was it a weird result like that?
No, they've won both the following games, I think.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But maybe they beat, I don't know who they beat. And then obviously they beat Spurs, who looked really, really good against City. So we're playing against a really, really good Bournemouth team, Maz, despite them losing so many top players this season.
Yeah, no, I think you're bang on. In terms of the model, they actually do have a lot of similarities with us. So it's interesting to see that, how it's great to see. I don't want to call us a small club, but like the smaller clubs in the league competing with the big boys. Obviously, again, hit the nail on the head, Ben. A lot of good things coming from you today. Marshall will be happy. It was a good start. Liverpool. No, against Liverpool, they look really good, especially on the counter. Semenyo obviously looked really dangerous. They came back, was it 2-0 down to make it 2-2, and then like you say, Chiesa and Salah I think made it 4-2 in the end. But they showed a lot in that game which you think, okay, Bournemouth has still got something about them, especially going forward. And then they beat Wolves, and I think the game you're thinking about is they lost to Brentford in the Carabao Cup, but they beat Wolves. Beat Wolves at home and then beat Tottenham away. Both 1-0, which is interesting. Very tight games, but still, a win's a win. And they're now in 7th place, which is, if they can stay there until the end of the season, I'm sure Bournemouth fans are going to be super happy with that. But yeah, you're right, Ben. I think it's going to be a really, really tough game. They're a really good side. Iriola, we all know, like, he's such a great manager. And yeah, as long as they've got him and the ethos, like similar ethos to us in terms of, buying players cheap and developing them and making them better, you just got to look at their lineup even against Spurs. Some of the players they got in there, Brooks, who I believe is got the highest chance creation at the moment. I think he's got 4, which is more than any other player at the moment. Yeah, people like Scott, Tavernier, Semenyo, we all know how good he is. Evan Nilsson up top. Obviously, defensively, I'd say maybe obviously they're weaker from last season. Obviously, losing Hoyson, losing Kirkes, losing who else?
Zabiani, is it?
Zabiani, yep, to PSG. So pretty much they've. Oh, and then the goalkeeper, of course, Kepa. Has gone to it's gone to Arsenal. So you look at 4 of their back 5 has just been dismantled in one season. But 2 clean sheets in the last games. Diakite, Senesi, Trufer, and Smith and Petrovic have kept a clean
Smith,
sheet in the last 2. So
insane that he's still playing football. I can't believe this guy. He got promoted with them, and he's still got that spot. He's almost like the ward of Crystal Palace. He's just he's just always great. Say that.
I was about to say he's literally like Joel. He reminds me so much of Joel Ward at Palace. That's actually mental. Yeah.
Almost like our Lewis Dunk as well. Obviously, Lewis has grown, come with us that whole journey. I'm not sure when Bournemouth picked him, Adam Smith, up from Spurs, but I remember they picked Smith up from Spurs when he was a youngster. And yeah, he's just been incredible. How he's still got a place in that team. Obviously, doing well enough to be able to starting in that team. We all know there's that famous picture, though. Do you remember a couple of seasons ago where he's almost like on his knees, like praying to Matoma when Matoma goes past him, I think, and Matoma scores. So hopefully Matoma can create some more magic against Bournemouth because, yeah, he's definitely got a few goals against them. But yeah, Maz, out of those players from Bournemouth, Semenyo being my one, but is there anyone in particular that does scare you?
Yeah, well, I mentioned him already, Brooks, with his chance creation. Obviously, going forward, he's been on flames recently. He's again, I think he's been quite unlucky with injuries. I think he had quite a bad one recently, didn't he? Or did he have cancer? I think, or am I thinking of the completely wrong person?
He might have had. No, he definitely did. He had leukemia or something, didn't he? I believe.
Yeah. And to come back from that to play professional football, massive props to him, and wish him all the best in that regard. But yeah, I think on the pitch he's now starting to come into his own. Obviously, still super young. Oh well, say super young. He's 28, but still young enough to make an impression. And I feel like with him, he's again against Spurs, he had a really good game, and again against Wolves, he had a good game. So yeah, he could be that spark they need going forward. So he probably fit him. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Semenyo is the player we really need to be careful of. Just he's a fantastic player. I remember a Bournemouth fan I spoke to called him world class, which I laughed at, and then he ended up scoring 2 against Liverpool in the opening day, which was
and he looked world class.
He did look world class against Liverpool, but I still think he's a little bit away from that. I think Semenyo, but yeah, they've got players that can hurt us, especially on the counter. And Iriola has them really well drilled defensively. Like I said, the clean sheets. And going forward as well, they showed that they can score goals as well, scoring 4 in 3 Premier League games. So yeah, I think Bournemouth are a really, really tough side. I think they're going to be set up really well. They're going to make it difficult for us, and away from home it's always going to be difficult, isn't it, playing against a side like Bournemouth? So yeah, I'm not going into it full of joy. However, with the Man City result and how we played against them in the second half, if we can replicate the second half over 90 minutes, then there's no reason why we can't get the win and improve our great record in 5 wins in 6 games or whatever it was that you said earlier.
I reckon if that result against City must have done us a load of confidence that like you said, hopefully we do carry on through. I did want to still talk about Semenyo though, because his career has been mental. Like when I learnt this, it just baffled me. Like, do you know where his career path?
I'm not 100% familiar now, but please enlighten me.
Can you try and guess?
Okay. Is it did he start non-league, I'm assuming?
Yeah, well, didn't really start there, but almost, yeah. He was playing for a non-league team at one point, yeah.
Okay. So wait, what? Give me a clue. Give me, what am I looking for here?
Oh, I can just tell you, but this has baffled me because when I found this out, I assumed that he came from abroad or he was playing maybe straight out of someone else's academy. But so yeah, he started at Bristol City, 2018. Youth career at Bristol City as well. Went on loan at Bath City in 2018. Then went on loan to Newport County went on loan to Sunderland and had a couple more seasons at Bristol City. Then went to Bournemouth, and now he's one of the best players in the Premier League. I think that for that career path for me is.
I don't remember him at Sunderland. Pretty mad.
He only played seven appearances there apparently. According to Wikipedia, I know they don't include cup matches, but that career path surprises me. Like seeing how good he is now, the teams that he was linked with this summer, the fact they've kept him, Maz, is unbelievable. Because I remember that he even posted like some training video in the summer, and everyone's going, "Oh my god, his finishing is unbelievable." And we've seen some of his goals. Like,
I remember that. Yeah.
He can really hit a ball so well and just can go top bins. Like not many players in the Premier League can hit a ball like he can. His rise has been insane, hasn't it? Really.
No, 100%. Like I think with Semenyo, he has like every aspect that you want from a player, right? It's like physically, he's an absolute athlete. Technically, very good on the ball. And then thirdly, he's got great football IQ as well. So it's like sort of really like an all-round player that you'd like to see with Semenyo. So yeah, mate, like you say, his trajectory of his career has been pretty mental. And he's still 25. Do you know what I mean? Like he's still got so much ahead of him, which is crazy to think of in terms of, his career path and where he's going to be. And I'm sure, again, I hate this because obviously we're sort of similar to Bournemouth in the sense of getting all your assets stripped. But eventually we are going to see him, I think, leave to a bigger side. When that'll be, we don't know. Maybe at the end of the season, maybe he's going to.
He was linked with Spurs and United this summer, wasn't he? So that was maybe he thought that he could do better than that next season. So if he's invested in it, I guess some people could say he's taking a risk by not going when he got his opportunity. But if he thinks he can get a better move, then if he has one more decent season at Bournemouth in the Premier League and carries on like he has been, then there's no reason why he can't go even higher than that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, imagine Bournemouth secure European football. Again, you can be like, it's sort of similar to with what's the example I was going to give where he basically got them Europe and then left. But anyway, having that on his CV is like, right, I've sort of been part of a side that have got Europe, like respectfully to Bournemouth, obviously a smaller side that achieved great things, similar to us. Like, it's like when João Pedro. Yeah, well, there you go. Eze at Palace. There you go. That was what I was looking for. Yeah, Eze at Palace. He got them European football, and then obviously ended up leaving. So, and got him a trophy as well, which we don't like to talk about. But it's a great example of a player giving his all, doing really well, shining in a team, and then getting his big move. And I suppose it's the same with a lot of players nowadays. They all, everyone wants to play Champions League football. Everyone wants to be at the pinnacle of football. So, I'm assuming Semenyo's got very similar aspirations, and I'm sure that. One day he will get his big move. And there's still so many teams that, so much outgoings and ingoings, isn't there, nowadays? Like you see players there for one season or even 6 months and they're out the door. Just look at Højlund, you got one season at Man United and got shipped out. So, the rotation now in teams is mental. So I'm sure that if one player's not performing, they'll be like, well, Semenyo is, let's get him in. So, it's been an incredible rise for him and he's a fantastic player. So I am very much worried about him come Saturday.
I know we were talking about Mitoma loving to score goals against Bournemouth. I didn't actually say what the number was. Mitoma scored 4 goals against Bournemouth across the last 3 campaigns, with all 4 arriving in the second half, which is pretty impressive. And this report we're reading on FlashScore, actually, the person that wrote it is James Hilson, who I worked with at Brighton Hove Albion. He used to help me out in the media department there. So, cool. Shout out, James, if you're listening. You goes to a lot of the games as well. But what an absolute legend. And thanks for the information for our podcast because we need it. I've been ill, so there was zero prep here. What else can we discuss? I guess from their side, Iraola as well, an unbelievable manager. Would you say, where would you rank him as a manager in the Premier League? Because, in my point of view, he's definitely better than Hurzeler, I would say. He'll probably be looking at getting a job if Ruben Amorim goes. I'm sure he'll be one of the top 3 that's been linked with the United job. He's one of those managers that's probably next up to have a big move, isn't he?
Yeah, mate, 100%. He's a fantastic manager. Do you know what? I'd put him sort of top 6, Like, there's not many managers above him. Obviously, you've got the standard Pep Guardiola, obviously, he's like top of the tree. And then I'd probably put him in the same category of like, it's obviously, you got Pep for me, sort of clear. Then you've got the ones below him, obviously, Arteta, sort of not again been sort of the nearly manager in that sort. Obviously, Slot's come in, done really well. Unai Emery, he's a fantastic manager. Thomas Frank has shown. Oliver Glasner, even I think I'd put him in that sort of category of just above the elite at the moment, Iraola. But he's showing all the signs that he can be a top tier manager. So I think they're going to really struggle to keep hold of him again if depending if, let's say they have another transfer window where all these assets get stripped, he might see that, but like, what's the point of me carrying on this project? And I don't want to keep rebuilding. So yeah, I can see his time limited there, sadly, for Bournemouth fans. Again, not wishing them to get their manager taken away from them, but he's a top quality manager, and I think a lot of Premier League sides or even abroad will look to get him. If a big job comes up in Spain potentially, one of the top clubs, I don't know, Atletico. Obviously, Real Madrid just got theirs, and looks like Flick's doing well at Barca. But yeah, if one of those top clubs in Spain come call in, he might think, yeah, this is my time to go. So yeah, I think they're going to really struggle to keep hold of him because he's a top manager.
So I was actually trying to look up what's the Atletico Madrid manager's name? Diego Simeone. How is he still there? God, one day he's got to go, surely.
I'm surprised he's actually lasted as long because he's quite like a temperamental manager, isn't he? Like you can imagine him just kicking off in the boardroom if things don't go his way. So I'm quite surprised he's lasted as long as he has. But to be fair, he's done an incredible job there to battle with Real Madrid and Barca year in year out. Like props to him, and I think he's won a league title with Atletico as well. So yeah, he's doing an incredible job. So they'd be crazy to let him go in that sense, but he must have. I
always saw him as a Chelsea manager. He screams Chelsea manager.
Yeah. Yeah. Very similar to like Jose.
Recording, as the day of recording, Chelsea have been. They haven't been charged yet, have they?
Oh, 74 charges.
74 charges against them, which could see either a big fine, points deduction. I can't remember what the other one was, but essentially it's kind of like what City are going through. So nothing's ever actually going to happen, unfortunately. But
big six cartel again.
It is insane. Like you get these charges, and like we still haven't heard about City's one. But the stuff, the business that Chelsea do is like surely that was going to get flagged eventually. Like they can't be signing 58 players in 4 seasons or whatever it is. It's absolutely absurd numbers, and keep taking our staff. So just leave us alone. But it'd be good if they do get charged. Please, that'd be class. That'd be honestly the biggest karma hitting you in the face ever, wouldn't it? Really. How much would you love to see a points deduction for Chelsea?
Oh. Inject it into my veins, and then just it'll be a great day. Basically, just be like, have some of that, you mugs, and stop stealing our players. But yeah, like you said, nothing's going to happen. So
no, I was going to say if they get charged before City, then it kind of gives us like a barometer of what happens to City. Because if they get like a 20-point deduction, it's not going to really mean too much to Chelsea, is it? Because they'll still stay up. They just won't qualify for Europe. Or...
Yeah, true. But like, I think they need Champions League football and European football to sort of carry on the pace that they're going in, because the amount of players they've signed long contracts
really financially, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, financially, it would screw them. So, yeah, I'm all for it. Deduct them 20 points. Like, I just feel like clubs can't keep taking the mick. That's what they keep doing. All these big clubs are just basically doing what they want, and some rules apply for one team and not for another. So, like Everton, obviously getting a point deduction. Obviously, they're running jokes like give Everton a point deduction, and it's like what? Like it's funny, but at the same time, it's not, because why are Everton getting punished, but Chelsea and Man City aren't, for doing arguably way worse? So way worse. Yeah, I just think it's there's a lot that needs to be sorted out, and hopefully they need to make basically a statement with Chelsea and Man City and be like, look, clubs can't do this. But probably Man City, I'm assuming they've got the best lawyers in the world. They're probably dragging this case out for years and years, just sort of taking money. Premier League are probably paying a lot of money to keep these court cases going. And it's just expensive and long, and they're just dragging it out just to get the result they want. So, yeah. That's what happens when you've got some money.
This morning I saw a pretty damning new study. One of the craziest things I've seen this week, considering everything that's gone on. Maybe in sport, I won't go as far as saying worldwide politics. But someone found a report saying Brighton Hove Albion are the only club in the Premier League or Championship rated regulator ready. The research by lobby group Fair Game paints a dire picture of English football's finances, suggesting that almost half of clubs in the top 4 leagues are running on empty. That is insane.
You'll never sing that. You'll never sing that.
What approach to Brighton Hove Albion, bigger than anything Palace have ever won. That is mental. Right? Like we're the only club out of the Premier League and Championship, that are regulator ready and aren't running on empty or close to. That is insane. Like, if one of these big clubs go, like if Brighton weren't in our live match, like that would just be awful. Like, what would we be doing? We would have to go and support Worthing. I mean, that is fun. Whenever I've gone to Worthing, it's great fun. But I'd rather be in the Premier League.
No, of course. Like it's just is mad. Like to think that. Well, first of all, massive props to how the club's run. Like Tony Bloom, Paul Barber, everyone at the top. Obviously, clearly have done such a great job to not only, make us progress, but also at the same time not make sure we're not cash rich. Obviously, I think we're in a bit of debt, right, to Tony. I think there's still a bit of that. But in terms of like everything else, it seems like finances have run really well. Obviously, we're from a business perspective, it's fantastic. Obviously, as fans, we still want to win trophies. We want to do well on the pitch, which is, I think, the next thing. I suppose, similar to Spurs, they had a very similar problem with Daniel Levy, right? And Enoch. They were like, it's run so well. They make loads of money. So they've got their fancy stadium, all that kind of stuff, like financially and commercially doing really well, but they weren't getting the success on the pitch and they weren't signing the players they wanted to, etc., etc. And I think there comes a time where that has to switch. You have to have it's great making loads of money and great as a business, but then at the same time, you want to perform on the pitch. So yeah, it's all great news and it sounds great, but at the same time, as fans, I think we want to win on the pitch and we want to do well on the pitch. So I think there has to come a time where that has to change, I suppose. But, yeah.
Speaking of on the pitch, Maz, let's do lineups. Are there anyone that you want to see come in? Do you think any of the Greek lads are ready to even feature on the bench? Because Kostoulas, please tell me you've seen his goal in training. I know it's only training, but have you seen it?
No. I haven't seen it.
Oh my days! Like he's getting marked by Milner, and he's very, very far out. The ball gets pinged into him, kind of flicks it up, and with the goal's like parallel with his left shoulder, not parallel, like opposite his left shoulder, and he just like volleys the ball like over himself, and it just goes top bins over Jason Steele. I'll have to try and find it and send it to you, but whilst I'll take your opinions, but it was an unbelievable goal. It just shows the quality this lad has. Do you think any of them should feature or will feature this weekend on the bench or even in the starting lineup?
Yeah, just quickly on the Man City game. Yeah, like I said, that second half, if we can replicate that going into this Bournemouth game, I think I will be way more confident. It's just, for me, I feel like Herzl did get it wrong in that first half, just in terms of personnel and potentially just sort of the matchups, I suppose, in terms of how he matched up with City. And I think it's going to be really key how he does that against Bournemouth. Because like we said, Semenyo can cause problems. Evan Nilsson, Brooks, they got players that can hurt you. And I feel like that's the matchups that Herzl needs to get right. And also going forward, it's like what's going to click. Obviously, Gomez and Welbeck didn't click for me. So that's something he's got to look at. Does Gruder start or do you want him more as an impact sub? There's lots of questions that need to be asked and hope you want to rely on Herzl to get that right. Yeah, sorry, I went off on a bit of tangent. I can't remember what you said, but yeah, who I want to start. The Greeks want to be. Yeah. So Simas, I think, has to be on the bench for me. I'd like to see Watson as well, just to have an option on the wings. Again, we're sort of limited now on the wing options with Solly March not being fit, and maybe Kadioglu could do a job there, but he's been on the bench anyway. But yeah, Tommy Watson for me, Simas. Kostas, I've not seen enough. Trambolis, I haven't seen enough yet. So, don't know, maybe just give him a little bit more time, maybe. But yeah, Simas played, I remember he scored 2 goals during the international break against the PFA 11, which I know isn't the best barometer, but again, cheeky little Panenka penalty and a good header as well he scored. So yeah, definitely want to see him on the bench. If he can get maybe 10, 15 minutes off the bench if we need him, that'd be great. But yeah, for me, Simas and Watson would be the ones I prioritise and then leave Kostas maybe out the squad just for now until we embed the players. And I'd like to see Gruder start, I think. I think he's been really, really good again. That game against City, he was a massive, massive catalyst to how well we've done. Maybe play him behind Giorgio, have him as the number 9, and then you've got Welbeck as an option off the bench. Simas as well, depending on who you sort of prefer. It just gives us so much more options going forward, I think. So that's the way I'd personally start in that number 10 and number 9 roles.
Well, whilst you have a look at the video I just sent you on WhatsApp, I'll go through some of my options. Because, I can't stress enough, as I want to get your reaction of the goal. It's insane. Gomez has had a haircut whilst on Paraguay duty, so he looks like he's bang up for it. He's got rid of his perm or whatever it was, and he's gone a little bit of shaving. New player Gomez could be joining us after the international break. Jacoipa had a really, really good international break. He even scored, I think, for Belgium in their first match. Won both games with them. I think if we're playing against Semenyo, playing on that left for Bournemouth, I think Veltman is a must start for me. Can't be having on one of our makeshift right backs playing against Semenyo because Semenyo will just eat him alive. So defence, we need to pick that and make sure we get that absolutely right. And Van Heck, Dunk and De Kuiper with Veltman is my back four fully. I would love to see Gruder start, but he seems to be having such good impacts off the bench. So it's a weird one with that. Maybe you start Minter and Matoma and have Ritter and Welbeck potentially as the two up top and bring on Gruder for Welbeck and then move Ritter in the 9 later into the game. That could be an option if Simas doesn't feature. Maz, did you watch the video?
I have, yes. Fantastic finish. Outrageous, that, really. Still hasn't convinced me that... It still hasn't convinced me he needs to be in the squad based off that, but it is... Like technical ability, yeah, outrageous, and the vision to be able to do it where he's done it with very limited, limited scope to where the goal is, which is unbelievable goal. But yeah, it hasn't convinced me just yet.
James Rodriguez's goal in the World Cup for Colombia is almost like chest and then volley. And also
very different scenarios, but
I'm pretty sure he's done a chest and volley.
Yes, for Stoke.
Look at that.
Yeah, but that was way more. Like Costas's was a bit more central than the Crouch.
Yeah, Crouch's, yeah. Maybe just James Rodriguez in the 2014 World Cup.
But no, fantastic goal. But just for me, not ready yet. But just quickly on what you said, yeah, Veltman, I 100% agree with you. And also, do you know what? I've seen a lot of like the Kuiper. People are not giving him enough credit, in my opinion. Because obviously we did a post, didn't we, about how well our transfer signing sort of rated. And albeit, I'll have to admit, it was purely my ratings, so I made the graphics, so don't want to blame Ben or Jack for those ratings. But yeah, I rated him a 9 out of 10, purely, and again, just to reiterate, this is based on transfer value, age, how well they've performed so far, and potential. So that's the 4 sort of like, categories. And yeah, I gave him a 9 out of 10, which sounds quite high in retrospect, but I maybe would have, looking back now, I maybe would have given him an 8. But yeah, like I feel like he's getting a lot of disrespect at the moment, to Kuiper. Or maybe people are just not as impressed as others with him. But I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh yeah, he's unbelievable. And then like, I saw an article yesterday or the day before, someone saying that he's got the potential to be one of the best left backs in the Premier League. Like he's got all the attributes to become, one of the best Premier League left backs. So yeah, I've been really impressed with him so far. I think he's done a really good job. So long may that continue, and hopefully people can sort of jump on board with it, because it seems like he's got a few naysayers, weirdly, which I'm sort of baffled by. But yeah. Well, him and Veltman are right and left back for me.
Yeah, I agree. He'll have a tough afternoon against David Brooks. So yeah, hopefully we'll get the better on that one. Anything else, Maz, before we shut up shop?
No, I suppose just predictions. I suppose.
Yeah, predictions. I'm gonna say a draw. I know we haven't drawn. I know we've had such a good record against them, but I think this one will be a draw, and it's going to be 2-2.
Yeah, I like that.
Actually,
I like that a lot.
1-1.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Bournemouth are a really good side. They've started really well. Great manager. Obviously, away game as well, which contributes for me as well. So yeah, I want to remain positive rather than saying it's going to be a defeat. I'm going to go with the draw as well, and I'm going to steal your one and say 2-2. So yeah, draws all round. But you know what? If we can, I keep saying it, and I've said it. It's going to be the third time I say it. But if we can replicate the second half of the Man City game for the full 90, we go, have the right players on the pitch, I think we can get a positive result. But yeah, really, really tough side, and it's going to be a tough game. And also, Ben, hopefully no mystery injuries anymobecause because I'm sick to death of it. Yeah. Someone's going to just, no Gruder, no Baleba, and, and also obviously Minter had a bit of a scare on international duty.
Oh, yeah,
so that could be a potential replacement at right wing, because he's been fantastic. Against City, he was unbelievable. So that would be a huge blow if Minter isn't fit, but fingers crossed it was just a minor.
But then, Gruder does come in, hopefully, on the right maybe, instead of the 10. So if Minter does leave out, it's a great opportunity for Gruder to start. Obviously, we all know what Gruder can do on his day. So, yeah, obviously I'd much rather Minter start. And yeah, hopefully the injuries aren't too well. As of recording, I don't think Hasler's done his press conference yet, so we don't really know any updates.
Yeah.
You guys might know more than us by the time this goes out, but until then, we will see you for the match reaction after Bournemouth, after we pick up at one point. Is either us win or draw. It's not us lose. I think if I was betting on this, I'd say Brighton win or draw. Win, draw, Brighton. Yeah,
positivity.
Not Bournemouth. Positivity. Matoma to bag as well to get another goal against the Cherries.
Yeah.
All right then. Thanks for everything. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a review, and we will see you for the match reaction. Peace.
Peace.